Paul Heyman has entered a downward spiral that feels like the ultimate unmasking of the man once celebrated as the Wiseman, the strategist who always stood 2 steps ahead of danger, the manipulator who built empires out of chaos, and the advocate who made careers by putting his brilliance behind the monsters he controlled. Yet on this night, backstage at Raw, what the WWE Universe witnessed was not the calculating genius who masterminded Brock Lesnar's career and later orchestrated Roman Reigns' dominance, but a fragile, desperate man whose confidence had shattered under the unbearable weight of fear. News had broken like a thunderclap that Brock Lesnar was no longer a part-time spectacle, not the mercenary who would appear a few times a year to wreak havoc and then disappear back into the shadows, but a full-time force, a permanent fixture of Monday Night Raw, and that single fact was enough to unravel Heyman entirely. For the first time in decades, the man who prided himself on knowing everything before it happened was blindsided, left trembling in a dimly lit hallway where cameras caught him cornering Seth Rollins, his once steady voice reduced to a broken whisper, repeating over and over that Lesnar was coming for him and that this time there would be no escape. Rollins at first sneered, amused by Heyman's theatrics, dismissing him as the paranoid old manipulator who had made a career out of crying wolf, but the laughter quickly drained from his face when Heyman revealed the chilling truth. Hours before Raw went on the air, Lesnar had personally called him, his deep, unshakable voice making a vow that once he stepped onto the red brand as a full-time warrior, his first target would be the man who betrayed him, the man who abandoned him at his lowest, the man who mocked him publicly and hid behind Roman Reigns' empire. That man was Paul Heyman, and Lesnar's message was clear: the beast does not forgive, the beast does not forget, and the beast always finishes what he starts. What made the moment even more unsettling was the whispered rumor that Heyman, ever the schemer, tried to salvage the situation by offering Rollins a deal, dangling the promise of inside information on Lesnar's weaknesses, his habits, his tendencies in the ring, the kind of knowledge only a man who stood at his side for decades would know. Heyman supposedly promised to reveal the beast's Achilles heel if Rollins would agree to offer him protection, but the question hanging over everyone's head is whether Rollins, the self-proclaimed visionary and ultimate opportunist, truly wants to put himself in the middle of a blood feud between Heyman and Lesnar, or if Heyman is simply clutching at straws, exposing himself further as a desperate man who has finally lost all control of the narrative. What is certain is that the rest of the locker room has already made up their minds. Backstage whispers say Heyman is now considered toxic, a walking bullseye, and nobody wants to be near him. Being seen alongside Paul Heyman now is like painting a target on your own chest, because when Lesnar strikes, he does not strike surgically, he destroys everything in his path, and anyone standing too close will feel the F5 as much as the intended victim. The larger, more frightening question is why Triple H opened the gates and unleashed this chaos. Insiders claim Raw was desperate for a spark after ratings began slipping following Roman Reigns' bombshell exposé that shook the WWE to its core. Fans were buzzing, but the red brand needed an anchor, a force that could convert momentum into dominance, and Triple H believed Brock Lesnar was the solution. But Lesnar didn't come to the table asking for more money, nor for championships, because the beast can claim those at will. What he demanded was freedom, complete and total freedom, no scripted promos, no carefully crafted feuds, no restrictions on who he could fight or when he could fight them. Lesnar reportedly told Triple H in no uncertain terms, "You sign me, I do what I want, when I want. Nobody tells me otherwise." In what some call a stroke of genius and others call a catastrophic gamble, Triple H agreed, unleashing Lesnar as a full-time, unbound monster whose presence alone has already destabilized the entire Raw locker room. The ripple effect has been immediate. Cody Rhodes is said to be furious, Gunther is bracing himself for what feels like an inevitable collision of titans, Rollins is trapped in a dangerous web spun by Heyman's fear, and backstage speculation is mounting that Triple H may have even deliberately fed Heyman to the Beast to settle old scores while guaranteeing ratings. The possibilities this opens are endless and terrifying. First and most obvious, Heyman himself is target number one, the former advocate who betrayed the Beast, mocked his defeat, and sought shelter in Roman Reigns' shadow during the Bloodline's reign of terror. Lesnar has promised to end him, and few doubt that he means every word. But beyond Heyman, the list grows. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, still has unfinished business with Lesnar after their brutal trilogy that left scars both physical and psychological. Lesnar has never accepted defeat, and for him, their story is not finished. Gunther, the ring general, represents the match fans have whispered about for years, a collision of dominance and discipline against primal power and brutality, a battle so massive it could headline WrestleMania. CM Punk, freshly returned and already stirring chaos, could easily find himself in Lesnar's crosshairs, reigniting the tangled web of loyalty and betrayal that once connected Punk, Heyman, and the Beast. And then comes the most jaw-dropping rumor of them all. The possibility that this is all leading to a shocking alignment, a reunion between Lesnar and Roman Reigns, creating an unstoppable new version of the Bloodline with Roman as the strategist and Lesnar as the executioner, leaving Heyman caught in the crossfire and the rest of the WWE Universe powerless to stop them. For Heyman, the situation is dire. He is no longer the puppet master pulling the strings, he is the puppet with his strings cut, running in circles as the predator closes in. Aligning with Rollins is risky and may backfire. Crawling back to Reigns seems unlikely after his years of wavering loyalty, and running offers no safety because Lesnar hunts until his prey is destroyed. The Beast does not make returns quietly, he reshapes landscapes, ends careers, and rewrites history, and now as a full-time member of Raw, he has the freedom and platform to do it every single week. Triple H may have unleashed chaos that no one in WWE, not even its top brass, can control. And so the questions linger in the air. Is Heyman's time finally up? Will Lesnar actually reunite with Reigns? And who else will be dragged into this revenge tour that threatens to consume Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Gunther, CM Punk, and perhaps even Roman Reigns himself? The stage is set for a reckoning that could redefine Raw forever, with Paul Heyman standing at the center of the storm as a hunted man, and Brock Lesnar, unchained and unmerciful, promising that the destruction is only just beginning.